Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Masara Arjana Bidi Swardian. My matrix number is 301770. So our group have choose impact of Islamic economic principles on poverty alleviation as our assignment topic. Now, I would like to explain the introduction part. First thing first is objective. So, our objective in this task is to explore how economic principles can help in poverty alleviation from the perspective of Islam. Islamic economics offers a unique viewpoint that has the potential to alleviate the poverty in a fair way. So, poverty can be defined as follows. First, from the Quran. The Quranic show that there is two levels of poverty which essentially embody every possible group of people in every economy at any one time. The second one is from the hadith. The Prophet's hadith defined that poverty is danger that can pose a risk and a hazard to both people and societies. There is a lot of approaches and sole mechanism in Islam for the redistribution of wealth and income. This demonstrates that if Islamic economics is administered properly, trustfully and professionally in line with the instruction of the Quran and Hadith, and the state performs out its task properly, trustfully and professionally, the implication for lowering the number of poor families can be fulfilled. However, the success of these principles in practice is dependent on several conditions, including the socio-political setting and the extent of commitment to Islamic teachings. So, as we continue to deal with global poverty, Islamic economic principles give vital insight and ideas that can guide our initiative to create a more fair and just society.
Islamic economic concept. First is zakat, charity and almsgiving. The concept of zakat is a fundamental pillar of Islamic economics. Muslims are required to give a portion of their wealth, usually about 2.5%, to help the less fortunate like yatim and fakir miskin. There are also a Quranic verse about zakat in Al-Quran. Wa aqimus salata wa atuz zakah wa ma tuqaddimu li anfusikum min khairin tajiduhu indallah innallaha bima ta'maluna basir. The meaning is, and establish prayer and give zakat and whatever good you put forward for yourself, and you will find it with Allah. Indeed, Allah of what you do is seeing. Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 110. There are also one proper hadith about zakat. Allah says, whoever is made wealthy by Allah and does not pay the zakat of his wealth, then on the day of resurrection, his wealth will be made like a bald-headed poisonous male snake with two black spots over the eyes. The snake will encircle his neck and bite his teeth and say, I'm your wealth, I'm your treasure. The systematic collection and distribution of zakat contribute directly to poverty alleviation by redistributing wealth to those in need. This show that Islam has taught the best for their ummah on how to do living fairly. Okay. So the second is sadaqah, voluntary charity. Sadaqah encompasses voluntary acts of charity beyond zakat. It includes any form of voluntary giving to help others. Masalul lazina yunfikuna amwalahum fi sabilillahi kamasali habbatin ambatat sab'a sana bila fi kulli sumbalatin mi'atu habbah wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha wallahu wasi'un alim. The meaning is the example of those who spend their wealth in the case of Allah is that of a grain that sprout into 7 years, each bearing 100 grains, and Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills. For Allah is all bountiful, all-knowing. Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 261. Sedekah also have a prophet hadith. Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu narrated that the say messenger of Allah, alms does not reduce wealth at all, and the servant who forgive others, God increase his honor, and the humble person, God raise his position. Sadaqah serves as an additional means to address poverty by encouraging individual acts of kindness and generosity. Okay. So the second is sadaqah, voluntary charity. Sadaqah encompasses voluntary acts of charity beyond zakat. It includes any form of voluntary giving to help others. Masalul lazina yunfikuna amwalahum fi sabilillahi kamasali habbatin ambatat sab'a sana bila fi kulli sumbalatin mi'atu habbah wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha wallahu wasi'un alim. The meaning is the example of those who spend their wealth in the case of Allah is that of a grain that sprout into 7 years, each bearing 100 grains, and Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills. For Allah is all bountiful, all-knowing. Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 261. Sedekah also have a prophet hadith. Abu Hurairah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alleviation binti Syari, 00741, and I will present about the impact of Islamic economic principles on poverty alleviation in real-world scenario. As you know, zakat is one of the most important aspects in Islamic economic system. One positive economic effect of zakat is it increases the money supply, which consequently increases the demand for goods and services. I have provided the impact of zakat on household monthly income in Kelantan as it shown from table 1. From the table, we can see that monthly income had increased with the zakat distribution. I will take one example, which is Kota Baru. Kota Baru is the highest amount of zakat distribution with 18.3%. This shows that zakat allocation mostly centered in Kota Baru because this district has the highest amount of fuqara and masakin. Before the zakat distribution, Kota Baru is the highest poverty incident in Kelantan with 96%. After the zakat distribution, Kota Baru still has the highest poverty incidence, even though the poverty rate has reduced to 91%. The extent of poverty is highest in Pasir Mas, with mean income gap of RM317 and 0.50 poverty gap ratio before the zakat was distributed. After the zakat was distributed, Pachok, who has the lowest amount of poverty extent, has become the highest amount of poverty extent, although it has reduced from RM319 for mean income gap and 0.43 for income gap to RM242 and 0.32. In conclusion, zakat distribution has proven its effectiveness in improving per individual monthly and daily income for zakat reception in Kelantan. Analysis on poverty in this study has shown a positive result on poverty incidence, extent, and severity of income due to zakat distribution. It means that this study has proven the positive contribution of zakat in reducing poverty.
Next is the compatibility with contemporary challenges. Zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and has long been recognized as an important instrument in overcoming the problem of poverty. In Malaysia, zakat has become part of the economic system and has been used effectively to help the less fortunate. According to some studies, zakat is believed to be able to overcome the problem of poverty, but there are still questions as to why poverty among Muslims is still high. The nature of zakat, the organization of zakat administration, and the poverty measure employed are the three primary elements that affect how effective zakat is at reducing poverty. The manner in which zakat is gathered and dispersed is referred to as its nature. The way that zakat is administered and disbursed to eligible recipients is known as the zakat management structure. The definition and measurement of poverty are reflected in the employed measure. In this perspective, Islamic economic values are also significant. Economic growth that is equitable, progressive, sustainable, and inclusive is emphasized in Islamic economics. It also places a strong emphasis on obtaining benefits and preventing harm, as well as on justice and the drive to succeed on one's own. By considering Islamic economic values, the zakat concept has been applied in Malaysia to aid in the fight against poverty. Both the definition and assessment of poverty, as well as the administration and distribution of zakat, can yet be improved. Overall, zakat is an effective way to overcome the problem of poverty from an Islamic economic perspective. However, to minimize its potential, there needs to be an improvement in the management and distribution of zakat, as well as adjustments in the way we define and measure poverty. By doing this, we can ensure that zakat is used in the most effective way to help those most in need.
Conclusion. Our conclusion about topic is we can infer that utilizing Islamic economics principles such as zakat, which is a method in Islamic economics, is crucial in development our country. This is evident as the implementation of zakat can help alleviate the economic burden on the nation and address society environmental issues such as the poverty problem in Malaysia. The roles placed by the government and efficient and responsible zakat institution have had positive effect on the surrounding community, enhancing the country image as symbolic Islamic nation. Not only that, the use of technology and information also aids in effectively collecting and analyzing community data to identify those in need, which is the poor of contribution and assistance. By doing that, so zakat institution can distribute financial resources quickly and safely to those in need. Additionally, Muslim and women contribute significantly to the success of zakat. This is because the responsibility as a Muslim inherent in the community and the compassionate attitude towards fellow believers have effectively addressed the issue of poverty in Malaysia. Therefore, eradicating poverty using Islamic economic principles like zakat inclusion as it can bring prosperity and well-being to our country.